This must have been like the central like cooking place for this whole campus. This place shut down for good in 2002 because of reports of abuse and neglect. They just chuck anyone with any disability like in places like this. Seeing all that does not ease my stress in the slightest. Right down Main Street there. There were totally workers who were within eyesight. There's a truck over there. Alright, how's it going, people? You already know, we're back at it again. And this time we have a really good one. As you know, we're on this like central state Illinois trip, and every trip I've ever taken has had that one place that when I found it, I was like, yes, I absolutely need to go do that trip. This is basically that place. So back behind me, you can already see some of the buildings. It is just this massive sprawling campus of an old like state mental hospital. And most of these buildings here were built in the 1920s, and this place shut down for good in 2002 because of reports of abuse and neglect. It's just got the same dark history as so many of the other like old antiquated asylums from like the early mid 1900s in this country. Funny thing about this one is there's like no coverage of it anywhere, like at least by name. I haven't found a single other like YouTube video of it. So like, it's making me think A, maybe it's really difficult, or B, maybe it's just a good hidden gem. So we're gonna be really, really careful with this one as I'm like jumping fences and running from building to building, because there's like 10 buildings we can get to. Well, more than 10, but some of the buildings on like the north end are like been repurposed and are like active now. There's like cars all around it. There's even construction on one end, so I don't know how much of this we can see. It'd take all day to see it all anyway, so we're gonna try to go see what we can and be really careful with it. So there's gonna be a lot of like GoPro footage running between buildings and stuff. Even as I drove by the first time, I noticed there's a little hole into that little cottage right there. So we're gonna hop that fence and start there, and then just kind of sneak from building to building. I don't know what I cut it on because there's not even any glass left in the window, but I really messed up my hand good. It'll sting for a bit, but at least we're into one of them. It's just one of the cottages. It was actually probably the top of that fence when I jumped it, but this is just one of the many like cottage buildings that's around here on this campus. Just over to our left is like 4 or 5 more, so I say getting into this one is good for those, but once we get a peek at this one, I'm going to try to go see some more of the bigger buildings on campus, some of the more main ones. Alright, well, at least we know the way to get out of here is this door at the end of the hall, room 127. Not too many people come here, that's for sure. Always check both sides of the doors to make sure you're not going to get trapped anywhere. Make sure there's as many open as you can. I at least assume these are dorm buildings. They look like standard little dorm rooms. Got these little dressers. Would have for sure been bunk beds or whatever kind of beds around here. We'll check this one out. I think it's 2 stories. It might just be 1, but otherwise we'll just kind of keep hopping around. Up there, if you can tell, the roof is mostly made of wood, so it rotted over the years. 22 years of abandonment will do that. Looks like a big like open pod area here. Wow, this thing goes on forever. Just entered a whole new like wing pod area. Might have to get my little satellite map out just to make sure I don't get lost around this campus. It's crazy. This building was a little bigger than I thought, but this is kind of all it is, so I'm gonna get out and try to hop on over to the next. Alright, we're good. We're gonna get the GoPro back on when we're running. This all here is like the main campus. I don't know what building this is that I just jumped into. Honestly, by the looks of it, it might just be more dorms, but all I know is that this campus had like everything. It had like schooling, obviously these dorm rooms, it had like an activity center, it had like a chapel, so like it had an entire like factory to power this whole area. It was like its own little separate town. Just how big this place was. And I'm not sure how much of it, like I said, we'll get to see, because like some of the buildings on the other end are just crawling with people, but like this side of it is definitely the more vacated side, so we'll stick to it from now, or for now, and then if we feel safer moving farther over eventually, then I guess we'll try that. As of right now, like they've run from 2 different buildings. You would have thought security would be pulling down if there was any cameras or anything, so I think we're good so long as we don't get seen by anyone actually patrolling around here. There are a lot of people who shared this room. Look, it's like 3 little headlamp things there. That would imply there may have been like 3 beds in here. Look, there's even like little old stickers on there from like Dalmatians and Muppets. And yeah, this is a big building though. Again, we have to really be smart about remembering where our windows in and out of these places are, because there's not a lot of them. There's just every now and then an occasional window into a building, but we have to really hunt hard to find those. So it's either more dorms or possibly some sort of like medical kind of center. But wow, this building is big. Look, it even goes further down that way. Fortunately, none of these things are shaped too ridiculous. It's mostly just your standard mental hospital style, kind of like plus sign shapes. It's weird, this building's like kind of double-sided. Both that wing where I came in down there and this one are like identical. They got that same desk thing going on. Which again makes me think, what if this was like some sort of like medical building? Almost hospital kind of thing, because this looks like almost like a nurse's station. And if not, then it's just like a little lobby area for whoever's running the dorm, if that's what this is. Realistically, what we're going to see around this campus mostly is just like residential style buildings. I really wish I could get into like the factory portion of it, but that is on the side crawling with people, and there's just people and workers all around it. We're going to head back out and keep moving, try to get to another one. Whoa. Why is this one blocked off with tape? Oh man, I really want to know now. You can't even get in. What could that mean? Alright. That's a big building over there, and I see an open window, I think, so probably going to try to sprint across this field and get into it, because that's just a straight line. I can already see where I'm going. I'll probably just keep this camera out, because switching between GoPro and this is getting kind of hectic, honestly. A little bit of cardio practice. I mean, a lot of these buildings are pretty easy. Little open windows, I can just hop right on through like that, but still, you know how careful I am. Especially on these road trip style things where I have to film all these videos and just never get caught. All in like a 3-4 day stretch, so it's the most stressful thing in the world. One day, when I'm old, I'm gonna look back on all these like adventures, all these videos I filmed, and be like, yeah, that was the absolute prime of my life. But in the moment, right now, these trips are just intense and stressful and lonely but so effective. My God, I'm gonna get lost in this one. I'm already zigzagging a little bit too much. All right, well, we can go up. First building that has a second floor. Oh God. Bullet casings everywhere. Sometimes when you see bullets everywhere like this, that's because like the local police does like training or whatever, like active shooter training in these buildings, so that could be what it is, and they're definitely not here right now, but still, seeing all that does not ease my stress in the slightest. Looks like this building's another similar one to what we've seen, either hospital or dorms. Definitely more hospital purpose, because you can see on the walls there stuff about oxygen and vacuum. That's how you know. So you know, like medical beds were here with all these different types of outlets and buttons that could be hooked up when needed. This was definitely a hospital style building. Of course, these mental hospitals are different from your typical hospital. We're probably not going to see any big fancy x-rays or whatever in here, because all this stuff they did here was with like specialized counseling, you know, because it's like mental, like mind stuff. Of course, back in the day, and that's why none of these places really exist the way they did anymore, they just chuck anyone with any disability like in places like this, like there was something wrong with them, when really it was just stuff like, oh, they were like blind, or like they had like autism or Down syndrome, just all these so common things that we treat or tailor to so easily today. But back then they just dump anyone with any sort of minor problem in a place like this and just call them crazy. The mid-1900s was a way different time, that's for sure. There's like caution tape on so many doors. I wonder why. But again, if there's all that bullet casing stuff, then I guess it could have been just from cops using it. I don't know why they'd need to bring in their real tape though. Look, a bath. It's like an extra big, just walk-in shower kind of thing. It's easily the biggest building yet. I didn't even make note of where I went. I just started walking through and I kept finding another hall and another hall and another hall. I want to say this is the end of it though. This will probably just be another stairway on the other side. Yeah. I haven't seen a single soul on this campus, on this side of it, so as of right now, I think we're all right. Really old, destroyed office chair. What's really nice about this place, because you already saw me do it on the GoPro, all I have to do is just hop a gate. So on the off chance anyone does come after me, all I have to do is just hope I'm faster than them, beat them to the gate, get over, and just be gone. Whoa. What is this room? I mean, I know with this being like a mental hospital with such a dark history, like, that may not be what this is, but could this be like a little on-site prison almost? Barricaded with like a lock like that? I don't know, like it could just be a maintenance room, but like what if? What if these are like little makeshift cells? And then back into the building. Better hope I can find my way back to the front with those open windows. Because like I said, I made like no mental note of the directions I went. I just kind of started going. It's like an office room. It's so moldy and terrible in here though. Just a few scattered around bits of furniture with those chairs and tables, but otherwise just big shelves. I wonder if this is like a library, like a makeshift library. I definitely didn't see this ramp. That's the thing about just jumping from building to building like that when you're more worried about getting caught. It's like you never even make a note of how big the building is. You're just kind of there. But look what I just walked into. This is a massive kitchen. This kitchen is huge. Look at that. I mean, there's nothing left. You can see like the bare piping there on the floor, but like there would have been like ovens and stoves all up in here. This must have been like the central like cooking place for this whole campus. What was that? I've not heard any noise this whole time. But there's just a big bang from like over there somewhere. There's another one, the lighter one. Look at all those boxes of paperwork in front of me there. Look how sides of these, like, I assume they're like freezers or refrigerators. Look how far back they go. It's where the noises were, somewhere back this way. What's in there? Because if I need to get out, there's a window. What was this room? Where are all these elevated platforms? My walking is so loud on these little chips. There's like worker stuff over there I can see. There's like some front doors there. There's a different front doors than where I got in though. Look, all these are like, we're not even in like the kitchen anymore, but all these doors are like these big vault doors. What does that mean? I guess this whole area could just still be kitchen, but like, that'd be the biggest kitchen I've ever seen in my life. I guess they'd need a big one for this campus though. There's another giant room over there. There's so many sounds now. Some of this stuff is just worker stuff. Might be wind moving doors. You'd think I'd hear walking in here too, if there was anyone. What is this? It's still like tiled kitchen floor. There's no way this could still be kitchen stuff. Or could it be? It might be, because that's like a dish tray thing over there. So it's like a giant pot for like mixing stuff, or like holding soups or whatever. I mean, that's not anything kitchen related, but still. What is all this? And remember, I thought this was like a hospital building. Yeah, there's no way this is kitchen equipment. It says volts and watts and amps on it. Anyone know what this is? Because I have no guesses. But this building's giving me the creeps now. Let's get out of this building since I'm so like lost and turned around. Whoa. There's books on pallets over there. Look at all of them. Who puts books on pallets like this? Some of them are like learning books, like textbooks. Others are just novels. So strange. Oh shoot. There's a car over there. That's how you know we're getting close to the dangerous area where there could be people around, like workers. Look at these holes in the wall though. What are those? They look too big to be bullet holes. This building I was just in is absolutely like the biggest one on the whole campus, so there is one like straight in front of us over there that had a way in. I might try that one and then kind of call it quits there because I'm getting sketched out and I don't want to push my luck too far. That's looking pretty doable. Oh, that car's moving. Shoot. If he drives out of sight, I'm going to bolt for that building over there, which it looks like he's doing. Say we go for it. We're wide in the open though, this is not good. Dude, there were workers in broad daylight over there. That was the riskiest run yet. It's gonna be a long way out of here too. Right down Main Street there, I could see like the yellow like high-vis vests. There were totally workers who were within eyesight. Look, that says activity supervisor. Wonder what that means, but maybe this was like a more chill kind of dorm building, like an activity center. These still look like bedrooms though. These even have curtains up there. Look at this. There's like a second fake wall in here. That weird mirror and sink. more dorms, only for like even more people. Double-sided sinks and like kind of half-divided rooms. I wish I would have found info or made note of how many people were here at like the height of this place. Probably would have been like the 50s or 60s, but I have to imagine it was in like the multi-hundreds, if not even pushing thousands. I don't know, with all these cabinets and like these curtain drapes over here. This is either like a just massive room with like 8 people staying in it, or it was like a lounge room. This is like a little greenhouse here. Sounds quiet. It's even warm in here too. This is totally like a little green room. Weird. Just weird shaped like rec rooms. I was kind of hoping we'd find like a basketball court or like a auditorium kind of thing in here, but look, here's another rec room. They're like so stripped and bare. Can't really tell what any of it was served for. We've seen dorms. We've seen the hospital. We've seen like the big giant cafeteria and now like the rec center type of thing. So I'm thinking we get out now while the going's good, because any other building I'd want to see around here would get me like really close to like workers. It's already going to be a long way back, so let's just get out now. All right, so at this point, this is all just going to be like one big mission back to the outskirts of that gate, hopefully without being seen or caught. We're going to put the GoPro back on because I don't want anything in my hands while I'm running. I might need to be climbing, so see you back at the fence. Till then, enjoy some intense running footage. Truck over there. That was really weird. I don't like that. It's just like a maintenance guy for this place, I think. He might try to like block my way out of here because I parked in the cemetery. Well, there's my car. It's at least still there. I was really afraid that truck was like gonna be like security or something waiting around here. I was gonna try to like block my way out of here, but I don't see him. I think he left. No ticket, please. No ticket. Okay. No parking boots or anything stupid. Got it. All right, let's pull out of here while we still can. Man, I cut my hand up badly both times getting over that fence. What is on that thing? I think that guy's just like a cemetery groundskeeper, so hopefully he wouldn't care, but he's not here and he's not blocking my way out, so I will take that and gladly escape on out of here. We just got it. We just succeeded, baby. Oh boy, did that get the blood pumping. Anyway, so glad to be able to say I pulled off that place. That was pretty cool, even if it wasn't too terribly interesting as far as what was still in there, but just a fun little mission to go like hopping from building to building and risk getting caught like that. So that was pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm actually going to try a different like mental hospital later on in this trip as like the final video. That one I just did in this video was going to be the final one of this trip, but then I got told of this other one, so I thought that one might be better, so I'm going to do that one instead. So still plenty more here to come on the Illinois trip, and see you next time.